Economic developments seem to indicate a thaw in inter-Korean relations in spite of North Korea's threats over joint ROK-U.S. military drills. The U.S. state of Georgia's General Assembly wants to increase the working visa quota for Korean scientists and engineers. And Korean animation is capturing the hearts of moviegoers around the world. The growing domestic industry is having a global impact. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, February 10th. I'm Luke Clary. Recent economic developments seem to indicate a thaw in inter-Korean relations. South Korea is deciding whether to join a North Korea-Russia joint venture, while a new internet network is in the works for the joint Kaesong Industrial Complex.
North Korea and Russia signed an economic cooperation deal last year to reconstruct a 54-kilometer railway between the North Korean port city of Rajin and Russian town of Khasan. The deal is also to refurbish the Rajin port. Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to South Korea in last November has paved a way for South Korean businesses to participate in the North Korea-Russia joint economic project. A delegation of 18 officials from South Korea's state-run Korea Railroad, steelmaker POSCO, and shipper Hyundai Merchant Marine will make a 3-day visit to Rajin to check the conditions of the port and railway facilities. The participation in the Rajin-Khasan development project will bring South Korea one step closer to realizing its vision of connecting a Trans-Korean Peninsula Railway and the Trans-Siberia Railway.
내양을 통해서 갈 경우에 한 40일 걸리던 우리 항해 일수가 8일간 바로 철도를 이용해서 다이렉트로 갈 수 있습니다. 이래서 그냥 물류에 대해서는 새로운 비즈니스가 열린다고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
On February 7th, the two Koreas reached an agreement on establishing an internet network at the inter-Korean joint venture Kaesong Industrial Complex. The agreement will allow employees of South Korean companies operating at Factory Park to use the internet starting in the first half of this year. The establishment of the internet will also ease other inconveniences for the South Korean companies that have had to send and receive documents by fax. Foreign companies have shunned the Kaesong Factory Park as an investment destination, partly for the lack of internet service. The Inter-Korean Online Service Agreement will likely help attract foreign investors to the Kaesong Industrial Complex.
Government agencies are lending a helping hand to women in the workplace, balancing their work with family life. New programs will help mothers reignite their careers.
Government agencies will increase employment opportunities for women who had quit their jobs but now want to get back into the workforce. The Ministry of Strategy and Finance will give extra performance points to government agencies that hire more women with such career gaps. The ministry also recommended that government agencies hire such women as replacements when their regular female staffers leave their jobs temporarily. Public agencies will also introduce a program that promotes employment of women who are looking for opportunities to return to work after a break in their careers. Under the so-called returnship program, they will reserve specific duties only for the women looking to re-enter the workforce and hire them as regular staffers after they complete a training course. Government agencies will also introduce a new internship program. Under the program, they will turn at least 70% of the interns into regular workers based on their job performance during their internships. The new internship program will be first operated on a trial basis at 12 public agencies. The government will also give extra points to public agencies that hire more temporary workers and high school graduates. 295 public agencies will hire 17,000 people this year, up 1,000 from last year.
After an accident on the road, many drivers want to keep their car in place to determine damage and assess blame. But that can cause secondary accidents, and a recent ruling says the drivers who cause additional accidents can be held accountable.
A 3-car collision on an expressway in the summer of 2012 left 5 people dead and 5 injured. The first accident was a fender bender between a truck and a tank lorry. The truck, which had caused the first accident, pulled over to the safety zone, but the lorry was left at the scene for more than 7 minutes. Later, a van discovered the tanker and tried to change the lane, but it was too late to avoid a secondary accident. The ensuing trial tried to determine whether the tank driver was trying to ascertain the damage at the time should be held accountable for the second accident. The court ruled that the tanker driver should pay damage compensation because although he was the victim of the first accident, he did not move his vehicle and clear the scene, directly causing the second accident. On the other hand, the truck driver who had caused the first accident was ruled to have had no part in the second accident since he had pulled his vehicle to the side.
안전지대나 갓길로 차량을 이동시킨 상태에서도 충분히 파손 여부는 확인할 수 있었다는 것도 판결문에 명시가 되어 있습니다.
This ruling is a clear warning to some hot-headed drivers who argue over who's at fault instead of taking safety measures first.
Facial recognition systems are quickly being adopted throughout the country, meaning security cameras may soon be able to identify you on the street.
A person looks up at a camera installed at the entrance and the door immediately opens.
출입을 허가합니다. 출입문이 열립니다.
The door opens when the man looks up at the camera, even if he has to take his glasses off. But a person unregistered with security is instructed to perform other actions when he looks at the camera.
앞쪽에 있는 벨을 꾹 눌러주세요.
Roughly 2,000 of these facial recognition units developed by a local firm have been sold in just 6 months since its release.
각도, 빛, 액세서리 착용 유무에 따라서 다양한 조건에 노출될 수밖에 없는데 그 조건을 저희가 극복하는 것이 얼굴 인식의 안정적인 기술의 핵심이라고 할 수가 있습니다.
Other office devices have been equipped with the facial recognition function as well. There is a copy machine that is designed to operate only when it recognizes a user's face. Sellers have sold 80% more of this specialized copier than ordinary copy machines. Facial recognition is harder to fake than identification through fingerprints or eyes, and people feel less intimidated since there is no direct human-to-human contact with the machine. The global market for the facial recognition system has been growing steadily and is expected to reach $1.4 billion this year. Facial identification is spreading quickly to other areas as well. Smartphones will eventually use facial images instead of passwords to unlock the device.
Super Typhoon Haiyan wrought havoc upon the Philippines just 3 months ago. Korea's Arau unit is aiding the nation's recovery efforts.
Typhoon Haiyan claimed the lives of 12,000 people. Devastated towns testified to the scale and brutality of natural disaster. Thousands of dead people were buried here and there without gravestones.
2,000. At saka mamaya may lilibig pa nga 40.
Coastal areas were directly hit by high waves. Wrecked large ships are abandoned on beaches. 13 countries dispatched relief team to the Philippines following the disaster in November last year. However, all of them left the nation as soon as completing their emergency missions. Korea's Arau unit is the only foreign relief unit to stay in the typhoon-struck nation. Its 40-day work has begun bearing fruit. Inspired by the Korean unit's work, other countries are considering sending relief teams to the Philippines again. The Arau unit will stay in the Philippines by the end of this year and help restore some 100 public facilities.
Good news for high-skilled Koreans looking for jobs in the U.S. The U.S. state of Georgia's General Assembly wants to increase the working visa quota for Korean scientists and engineers.
More than 5,000 people have been working for the Kia Motors plant and its contractors in the state of Georgia in the U.S. since 2010. All over Georgia, more than 50 Korean businesses have been doing their part to create jobs for local residents. Now the Georgia General Assembly is trying to match such efforts of Korean businesses. The state's legislative body will present a resolution urging the federal government to boost the employment of more Korean engineers and scientists. Georgia's Republican Senator David Schaefer is reportedly preparing a resolution urging for the quick passage of the bill on expanding the visa quota for Korean professionals. A bill on allocating 15,000 more working visas for Korean professionals was presented to the U.S. House of Representatives last year, but no progress has been made so far. Georgia's attempt to push a resolution through is seen as a response to the requests made by Kia Motors and other Korean businesses for more employees. There will be more jobs for Koreans in the U.S. as a similar move is in the works in Alabama, where a Hyundai Motor plant is located.
Health consciousness has been on the rise here in Korea as the lifespan continues its upward trajectory. But few people exercise to keep fit, with a recent survey showing up to 90% of people aren't active enough.
This man in his 40s has lost over 10 kilograms recently. His secret lies in a healthy diet and regular exercise.
저녁마다 헬스클럽에 가서 러닝머신을 한 40분에서 1시간가량을 빠른 걷기와 뛰기를 반복적으로 해서 매일같이 했습니다.
But many people in fact lack exercise because they're too busy with their daily lives. The rate of physical activity among Koreans is just 11%, which is only half the rate of Americans. In other words, 9 out of 10 Koreans lack exercise. The key point of physical activity is aerobic exercise and muscle training. Exercise is unarguably the surest way to stay fit. Not only does it help prevent diabetes, but it also reduces the risk of dying of cardiovascular diseases by 30%.
살이 빠지는 효과가 있고, 고지혈증이라든지 또 혈압을 낮추는 효과도 있습니다.
Experts recommend performing moderate to intensive exercises for over 150 minutes a week until you start perspiring and become short of breath, or performing highly intensive exercises for over 75 minutes a week. Muscle training at least twice a week is also essential. For elderly people, experts recommend balanced exercises such as Tai Chi and a sideway walking.
Korean animation is capturing the hearts of moviegoers around the world. Let's have a look at this growing domestic industry's global impact.
The animation film The Nut Job climbed to the #2 spot in North America just 3 weeks after its opening there, bringing in over $50 million. It was produced by a mid-sized Korean firm whose ingenuity has proved that thinking outside the box is a sure way to succeed. The firm targeted the global market from the film's initial planning stage.
자본과 기술력은 우리가 제공하고 서양 문화와 정서를 고려해 각본과 연출은 캐나다 업체가 만든 이른바 글로벌 프로젝트 방식이 헐리우드에서 통한 것 같습니다.
Disney's animation film Frozen has drawn 7 million viewers in Korea, becoming a mega hit.
We are going to the Dark Planet! Okay, tell me, Scorch, are you okay? Of course I am.
The creation of the unique characters for Frozen, An Escape from Planet Earth, involved Korean animators. Their success is further proof of the technological excellence and originality of Korean animators. Back in the 1980s, Korean animation firms used to be outsourced producers for Japanese and U.S. animation companies, but now their imagination, creativity, and courage are contributing to the popularity of Korean culture overseas.
Over the winter, it's not uncommon for people to gain weight, and with weight gain can come unsightly stretch marks. Here's a look at why they form and how to prevent them in the first place.
In the winter, people don't want to go out for outdoor activities due to the cold, so they may gain weight rapidly. Rapid and sudden weight growth leaves something ugly on your skin, stretch marks. Stretch marks are often the result of rapid growth or rapid weight changes. They may also be associated with hormonal changes during puberty and pregnancy. Can stretch marks disappear naturally if people lose weight and slim down?
튼살은 흉터와 비슷합니다. 한번 생긴 흉터는 없어지지 않는 것처럼 튼살도 치료를 해야 좋아질 수 있습니다. 살이 빠지면 피부의 부피가 줄어들어서 튼살이 줄어든 것처럼 보일 수 있지만 사실 치료 없이 튼살은 좋아질 수가 없고 치료를 해야지 호전될 수 있는 질환입니다.
It is better to treat stretch marks before it gets too late. The treatment works well when it's carried out in the initial stages and stretch marks are still reddish. Old marks rarely diminish or disappear. Various medical treatments are available for getting rid of stretch marks.
조금 오래된 튼살이라 백색의 위축된 선으로 나타나고 있습니다.
White scars can appear on the legs. Stretch marks often show up on legs during puberty when people experience rapid growth. Fortunately, the area is not wide. To remove the marks, a high-frequency electric current treatment is applied. The treatment helps the creation of collagen in the skin and removes stretch marks. This woman sees a doctor because of the stretch marks on her belly. Many pregnant women get stretch marks as their bellies rapidly grow to accommodate their growing baby. There are stretch marks across her stomach.
튼살 크림을 매일매일 발랐는데도 불구하고 튼살이 배가 부르면서 점점 더 심해져서 그냥 방치만 해둔 상태였거든요.
It's more difficult to treat stretch marks obtained during pregnancy since they cover a wide area. The treatment takes up to 4 months. Patients should receive the treatment every 3 weeks. The remedy here is more effective with the help of laser treatment. Winter is a good season to treat stretch marks with laser treatment since you're less likely to be exposed to ultraviolet rays.
치료 받고 나니까 앞으로 더 자신감 있게 생활할 수 있게 된 것 같아서 기분이 좋습니다.
It is hard to completely remove stretch marks, so prevention is the best policy. To prevent stretch marks from forming, you should avoid a sudden weight gain through continued physical exercise and diet plans. Leggings or skinny jeans can also cause stretch marks. Proper moisturizing and regular exercise are the best ways to maintain healthy, stretch mark-free skin.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. That's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.